May Atom guide you, brother.
If Elder Maxson ordered me to follow him to the gates of hell, I'd be the first one to kick them open. Proctor.
Looks like the Mark 28s are gonna do the trick. That was a good find.
I'll work with your team to make sure that the Mark 28 nukes remain stable when loaded into his bomb pack. Shouldn't take us more than a day or so.
Well, Professor, I have to admit, we couldn't have done this without you.
Professor Scarra.
We'll get those bombs fitted to Liberty Prime as soon as possible.
Ingram?
Looks like the Mark 28s are gonna do the trick. That was a good find.
I'll work with your team to make sure that the Mark 28 nukes remain stable when loaded into his bomb pack. Shouldn't take us more than a day or so.
Well, Professor, I have to admit, we couldn't have done this without you.
I appreciate the confidence, but I'm still a bit concerned. We haven't fully thrown the switch on Liberty Prime, and I'm just hoping all the work I've done to keep his system stable is going to hold.
Are you sure this is safe?
Of course. I've checked every connection, every circuit myself. Prime will hold together.
Proctor, all the readouts look green. I think it's time for you to activate the power transfer.
Actually, I think I'm gonna let you press the button. After all, without your help, we'd still be staring at a pile of disassembled parts.
I'm in total agreement with Proctor Ingram. The honor should belong to you.
Liberty Prime, back online.
Alright, let's run a basic diagnostic on him.
Diagnostic command accepted.
Give him a moment. He needs to adjust to his new configuration.
Voice module online. Audio functionality test initialized. Designation: Liberty Prime Mark II. Mission: the liberation of Anchorage, Alaska. Primary targets: any and all red Chinese invaders.
Now let me run a system analysis and a battle readiness check.
Liberty Prime, full system analysis. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Warning. Nuclear weapon payload depleted. Reload required. Warning. Power core offline. Running on external power only. Core restart recommended. Ability to repel red Chinese invaders compromised.
Got green lights across the board here. He's looking good from where I'm sitting. Professor, if you wouldn't mind keeping an eye on the big guy here, I'd appreciate it. Well, I have to admit, I wasn't sure we'd be able to pull it off, but Liberty Prime's looking pretty good.
What was that he said about his power core?
Prime's in top shape, but his nuclear engine needs to be restarted. Right now, we have him running off of the Prydwen's engines. Once I get that sorted out, we'll send him off to kick in the Institute's front door. Before you head off to your next assignment, I have something for you. I came up with this little beauty myself. I think it'll add a bit more punch to your power armor.
It'll do, I suppose.
Well, that's gratitude for you. Anyway, that's enough of that. You better hightail it up to the Prydwen. Elder Maxson said he needed to speak to you as soon as you were done here. And thank you, Knight. Without you, none of this would have been possible.
I've taken over robotic repair duties from Proctor Ingram. It's the least I can do.
Professor Scarra.
Proctor Ingram's been kind enough to allow me to stay aboard the Prydwen. Hopefully I can bring some order to the chaos up here on the Prydwen. There's plenty to fix aboard this ship. How did it ever get in such a state? It's much more interesting working up here than scouring the Commonwealth for robot parts.
Professor.
Proctor Ingram's been kind enough to allow me to stay aboard the Pridwen.
Excuse me, Proctor Ingram.
Just fixed a few power armor mods and gave them to Tegan. You might want to check them out.
When it comes to keeping the Pridwen running, Proctor Ingram's the best.
Commonwealth's a dangerous place. Make sure you gear up.
Is there anything you wish to tell me, Knight?
Not at all. I have nothing to hide.
I find that very hard to believe. Proctor Quinlan completed the decryption of the data you retrieved from the Institute. A portion of his findings included a list of synths that went missing or escaped from their underground facility. After careful analysis of the information, we've discovered something unprecedented. Paladin Danse is a perfect match for one of the synths on that list.
That's impossible.
I'm afraid not. The evidence is quite damning. The data you brought back included a record of each subject's DNA. We keep the same information on file for all of our soldiers. Paladin Danse's DNA is a perfect match for a synth they called M797. To make matters worse, he's gone AWOL. Disappeared without a trace. His sudden absence simply reinforces our conclusion that M797 and Paladin Danse are one and the same. I'm finding it difficult to believe that he never confided in you, and then swore you to secrecy.
Had he told me, it would have been my duty to report it immediately.
Don't insult my intelligence. You fought side by side with Danse. I find it impossible to believe you're ignorant of his identity.
After everything I've achieved, why would I jeopardize my position here?
You make a fair point. Apparently, I've misjudged you, which means I've decided to take you at your word. However, that doesn't absolve you of your duty. Danse is a synth. He represents everything we hate, a monstrosity of technology. Our mission in the Commonwealth is clear. The Institute and its creations need to be destroyed in order to preserve our future. Which leaves me facing the most difficult order I've ever given. I'm ordering you to hunt down Danse and execute him.
Isn't there some other way?
Absolutely not. My decision is final. Listen, I'm not blind to the fact that Danse was your mentor, and this isn't an easy burden to bear. But if we're to remain strong, we can't afford to make exceptions. Even when it means executing one of our own. Find Proctor Quinlan. He's been analyzing the data and should be able to provide you with a starting point. And Knight, there's a promotion for you riding on the results of these orders. So don't disappoint me. You're dismissed.
Elder Maxson.
I'm sorry, Knight. There's nothing further to discuss. You have your orders. I'm sorry, Knight. There's nothing further to discuss. You have your orders.
Attention. Due to increased raider activity, all leave requests to off-base sites have been temporarily suspended. Affected parties will have their leave compensated at the next available opportunity. That is all.
Proctor Quinlan.
Oh, Knight. I was told you were coming. Sorry about this business with Danse.
What do you know about this situation?
While I was decrypting all of the data you acquired from within the Institute, I came across a list. It appears that the Institute keeps exemplary records where their synths are concerned, including logging those that were reported missing. As I was perusing this list, I came across an image of Danse under the heading M797. A quick DNA comparison with our own records told the rest of the tale. I'm certain this comes as quite a shock to you, Knight. I'm sorry.
He'll be missed.
Doubtful. I wouldn't miss a synth any sooner than I'd miss a transistor radio. I was merely sorry that you'd been duped. No matter. I've been poring over Dance's duty reports, and unfortunately, I haven't found any concrete information. As you're well aware, Danse had intimate knowledge of the Commonwealth, and I'm afraid he could be seeking refuge anywhere. I think our best approach would be to identify every location he's ever visited and eliminate them as possibilities one by one. You may want to get comfortable. This could take quite a bit of...
What the hell is this crap about Danse being a synth?
I assume your outburst was a reference to some doubt regarding Dance's identity. I can assure you that my findings are quite accurate, Scribe.
So he sets Danse up, and then you knock him down. Is that it?
How did you hear about it?
There are no secrets in the Brotherhood. Maxon's made it clear that we're to locate Paladin Danse, and if we find him, report his location to you. That can only mean you've been sent to hunt him down.
Orders are orders.
Orders are orders? That's all you have to say? I can't believe that after everything Paladin Danse did for you, you're just gonna turn your back on him like this. There's obviously been a mistake, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
Scribe Haylen! You're addressing a senior officer, and you will show him the respect that he's due. Or so help me, I'll have you brought up on charges. Now, unless you're here with information that can assist us, I suggest you return to the police station immediately.
Of course. My apologies, Proctor. I believe I have some information that's relevant to the search.
Very well then. Would you care to enlighten us? Or do we have to wait until you decide to grace us with your knowledge?
Knight, if you'd accompany me to the flight deck, I'd like to show you the information I've compiled firsthand. I've stored the data on my Vertibird gunship's computer.
At this point, I'll take all the help I can get.
Very good, sir.
Proceed, Knight. I'll continue doing my research here.
If you'll follow me, sir.
Scribe?
This way. This way.
You think the Commonwealth looks bad? You should see the capital wasteland.
Scribe Haylen.
This way. Do you actually plan on killing Paladin Danse?
That's a risky question, Halen.
I know it is, but I need you to listen to me for a minute. I've known Paladin Danse ever since I was an initiate. He trained me, showed me the ropes, and when I screwed up, he taught me to dust myself off and move on. He's earned my admiration, my respect, and my friendship. I don't care what Quinlan's report says. I don't care if he's a machine or not. He's still Danse.
Why are you telling me all of this?
Because someone has to before you rush off and carry out Maxon's orders without thinking about what you're doing. Danse is the most selfless person I've ever met. I've watched him risk his own life based on nothing more than principle alone. That's why I'm asking you, not just as a member of the Brotherhood, but as a human being. Give him a chance. Let him tell his side of the story. If you're not convinced by what he says, or somehow he's become truly lost to us, then you do what you have to do.
You'd have me disobey orders?
Can't you put the Brotherhood aside, even for a moment? Am I really asking that much? Just talk to him. Find out what's going on inside his head. Then weigh your options. If you still think he intends to bring harm to the Brotherhood of Steel, you do what you have to do. But if you see a glimmer of mercy or humanity behind his eyes, I beg you, let him run. Before the Prydwen showed up, Danse had me identify a fallback point if we ever lost the police station. It was Listening Post Bravo, an old pre-war US military outpost on the northern frontier of the Commonwealth. It's isolated, and we're the only ones that knew about it. So, there's a good chance that's where he's headed. Just be careful. There's no telling what state of mind he's in right now, or if he trusts any of us at all.
Scribe Halen?
I know you'll do the right thing. I know you'll do the right thing.
I heard that Elder Maxon got that scar on his face from going one-on-one with a Deathclaw. If you're looking for ammunition or weapon mods, Proctor Tegan might have what you need.
Oh god, mole rat on a stick was a really bad idea. Excuse me.
With Liberty Prime back in action, this war's as good as won. Now, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for some firepower.
Sure, I've got something that'll put a smile on your face.
Dead? Put one more in its head for good measure. I take the chance.
The Prydwen is a magnificent ship, and we're lucky to have her in our arsenal.
I can't believe super mutants for human guns. Good signs are lost.
can't wait to see Liberty Prime in action again.